What's up, everybody? Another segment of Frankly My Dear. So just gonna dive right into it, man. I'm gonna put the link in the description box. So saw today HBO boxing is no more. 2019, HBO will no longer be showing boxing. Kind of, it's bittersweet, but at the end of the day, in my opinion, man, HBO has nobody to blame but themselves, man. I would definitely miss the old days of HBO boxing. I actually used to only like I would watch Showtime, but I felt like HBO boxing, that's the only reason I had HBO, to be honest, besides Game of Thrones and my wife, we watched the show Insecure. Outside of those two, that was literally the only reason I had HBO, and which I can get rid of now and just get it back when Game of Thrones comes back out. But yeah, man, HBO to me used to have the superior broadcasting, in my opinion, before guys got old. Jim Lampley, I don't know what the hell he started talking about. I don't know if y'all saw his recent comments comparing Triple G to Ali, even just stupid stuff like that, man. Max Kellerman was always good to me, but it hit a point where, you could kind of tell, during the broadcast, he would really think what the FUCK is Jim Lampley talking about a lot of times. All right, he would really be thinking that sometimes, but out of respect, you could tell he wouldn't really go full throttle at him like he might do a Stephen A on his own show. And Roy Jones the same way, man. A lot of times they might not agree with Lampley, but it's like they were, almost, he was the patriot, all right? So it felt like they had to go along with the narrative that he was giving. But, man, anyways, man, to me, HBO started falling off a long time ago, man. To me, it all started when they started, for one, saying certain guy, basically picking sides, all right? In my opinion, being biased, picking sides. And this goes, to me, way back to Pacquiao and Mayweather. As we all know, Mayweather ended up signing the deal with Showtime. They should have never let Mayweather slip away. The fact they even let Pacquiao slip away was a mistake. They should have let shouldn't have let Top Rank leave and take Bud Crawford, in Lomo. And HBO just made a lot of moves, man, that were just weren't smart. In my opinion, I think I've seen other guys say this. If you guys don't follow, I don't know if you guys follow Trill Boxing Talk, but I've seen 7-8 Sports TV say the same thing, man, that they sold out American boxing. All right, HBO, they started pushing the narrative that Eastern European boxers were just so superior to American fighters. Everybody was superior to their homegrown fighters, and then it ended up getting to a point where all they had was Triple G and Canelo, all right, especially once Top Rank left, and they kept pushing this narrative. Like I said, they've always taken sides. When it was whole Mayweather-Pacquiao saga, they were taking sides. That's just what they've done, man, and they just became a bias, and people started seeing through it. They elevated Kovalev like he was just the god of light heavyweights, of all time. They just stayed doing it, man, and it bit them in the rear end. It backfired on them. So now, unfortunately, HBO no longer has boxing, and that raises another question. Canelo is now probably the hottest free agent boxer outside of since Mayweather. Now that I think about it, Canelo right now is the hottest. Canelo right now is equivalent to if LeBron or Kevin Durant opted out of their deals, all right? Or if Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, a couple years ago or something, opted out of their deals. That's the magnitude of what Canelo is right now. All right. Of course, he still signed with Golden Boy. I really feel like Canelo is going to sign with ESPN. Golden Boy, I know they got the deal with Facebook, but they also have a deal with ESPN. I feel like that'll be the perfect platform for him, mainly because ESPN is all in the business of elevating guys and boosting guys, and they're very, casual in their approach to boxing. And Canelo is a hot commodity for anybody who's trying to attract casuals to the sport of boxing. And I think that's what Canelo might end up with HBO. I can't see him going to Showtime, mainly because Golden Boy and PBC have their issues in the past. But also, man, I gotta do this too, man. I gotta congratulate Al Heyman. People can say what they want about Al Heyman, man, but I gotta congratulate Al Heyman and PBC and Showtime. These guys decided to dig in, up their game when HBO was whipping their heads in for all those years, by having guys like Pacquiao, having Canelo, and having Floyd at first. It started when they signed Floyd. Once they signed Floyd, gradually, and then the PBC started showing this free fights on CBS, and then it just gradually grew and grew. The boxing world got to see guys like Errol Spence, who's big now. We got to see Wilder for free. Meanwhile, HBO was still trying to sell us on some Joe Schmo from some hole in the wall that they boosted and elevated. It's gonna be interesting to see where a lot of these boxers end up that were with HBO boxing. It's gonna be very interesting. I think I saw that ESPN has picked up they've even plucked it. I knew that was the last straw when they plucked Kovalev. ESPN got the Kovalev and Leda Alvarez next fight. All right, so HBO boxing, man, at the end of the day, I would definitely miss the old days, man. It used to be a brilliant telecast, but Letterman, his scoring was stupid dumb all the time. I don't know what he was saying most of the time towards his later years. Had Larry Merchant around way too long, and when Larry Merchant left, that's when Lampley should have left. But Lampley has that charisma, that voice that made it seem like he still knew what he was talking about when he didn't. And like I said, man, they sold out American boxing. They could have easily tried to keep top rank and elevate guys like Crawford, but they don't want to talk about Crawford. They want to talk about a guy, flyweight. They out here talking about Chocolate Tito, guys like that. When people watch boxing, was like, I still remember when Floyd retired. People were like, who, when they was talking about who gonna be pound for pound number one, and people was like, who the hell is a Chocolate Tito? And people can say, oh, you guys are casuals, you don't know Chocolate Tito. Come on, man. Andre Ward was still boxing then. They disrespected Andre Ward. It's just, they did it to themselves, man. I got no sympathy for HBO boxing. It is what it is at this point, man. Showtime has showed that they are the dominant force in boxing now. PBC, they're gonna be on Fox, FS1, everywhere. Even I even like the ESPN Plus app. HBO has been falling off for a long time, man. I remember, recently, just a quick thing, talking to friends, like, when the hell is another fight gonna be on HBO? I knew something was up because it was months between fights, and when it was fights, it was two guys who nobody over here cares about. Like, why? They have Sky Sports for that. They didn't need HBO. Okay? But it is what it is, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know where y'all think Canelo gonna end up, man. I'm a Golden Boy. Y'all hit the subscribe button, like button, comment. Y'all have a productive day, man. 1.